Listen, now we on to something. They are freaking out because we are not having any babies. The birth rate has declined. Do you know why? Because fuck these kids and fuck these prices. Because housing is ridiculous, childcare is ridiculous, healthcare is ridiculous, and you gotta feed them. And when you're trying to figure out your own life, and don't even get me started on this dating scene. I used to want 4 kids when I was a teen, and now I could not imagine having 4 kids.
The current administration having an issue with the declining birth rate in this country and offering $5,000 to women, mind you, a one-time payment of $5,000 to women to pop out kids, or like for them to pop out kids as an incentive, is evil. And I happily will contribute to the declining birth rate in this country. As women that are child-free by choice, or even like teetering between like wanting to become a mother or not wanting to become a mother, this is your time to stay like strong in your decision to not have a child anytime soon. What this means for you guys, not me, because I got my tubes removed, so I can't have kids and I don't want to. But what this means for you guys that are like teetering is that the government eventually will hopefully offer you more. Okay, don't accept the $5,000 right now. Stand your ground. Maybe in a couple months they'll offer up 10. Maybe they'll actually get smart and realize that we don't want just cash. We want policy change. Free and accessible health care. Federally mandated maternal and paternal leave. Maybe paid maternal and paternal leave. Gun regulation, so your kids are safe when they go to school. Because honestly, $5,000 is a slap to the freaking face, okay? Not that I know how much childcare costs and how much it costs to birth a child, but I know damn well $5,000 is a fucking drop in the bucket compared to what you are going to spend when you decide to bring a child onto this planet. So stand your ground. Don't become persuaded by a literal drop in the fucking bucket. If $5,000 is all it takes to motivate you to pop out a kid, you maybe shouldn't be the one to pop out a kid anytime soon. And I don't know if that's a hot take or not. Sorry if it is. Actually, no, I'm not.
The government will never be able to fix the declining birth rate because A, it's not a problem, it's evolution, and B, because women will never want to fix it. And there is so many herbs that you can use to induce your period. And also, you can never undo the mindset of men right now. Have you seen how fathers treat the mothers of their children? Have you seen how fathers treat their children? Go to the zoo and watch fathers versus mothers. Go see the division of labor. Listen to moms and how crazy they are. You know who is more often the biggest proponents of being child-free and happy? Moms. You know, you either have moms who are like pushing their unhappiness on you because they so desperately want somebody to be unhappy with them. You know, misery loves company. Or you have moms who are like, don't do it. Don't do it. Love your happiness. Love your freedom. The government could give you like $1 million and it still wouldn't be worth putting children into an unsafe, terrible world. And that's the truth. So yay, declining birth rate.
When you have people in power who do not value mental health, maternal health, women's health period, while simultaneously pushing for people to have more babies, you are going to see an influx in child abuse and domestic violence cases. Hate to say it, but it's true. These people have shown that they do not care about children's safety. They do not care about women's safety. We have states pushing for more abortion bans and less reproductive rights. And to make matters worse, in some states, there have been legislative efforts to loosen restrictions on child marriage. I am so tired of people saying things like, well, if women don't want to have kids, they should just close their legs. Because again, we have these old ass men pushing for things like child marriage, pushing for the ability to take advantage of young girls who haven't even developed physically or mentally. We have politicians trying to incentivize people to have children, people who are very vulnerable, people who are very desperate for a couple dollars. Then, of course, again, there's a mental health crisis going on in this country and very limited resources. People who don't know which way to turn when they're stuck between a rock and a hard place and a government that won't uplift them. We have these incel groups filled with men who fantasize about rape and incest. Men who plant their seeds wherever they go and don't water them, don't want to take care of their kids. There will be an influx in child abuse and domestic violence cases, but just have more babies, right? That's the only thing that matters.
Yes, I am contributing to the declining birth rate, but you want to know what else I'm doing? Whatever I want. If I wanted to go take a nap right now, I could just go take a nap. Or if I wake up and decide that I'm in the mood for yoga, I can just go to yoga. Or if I decide that I want to spend my whole day reading a book, I could do that too, because I can literally do whatever I want. And I actually think that's beautiful. I love that for me.
No, because being a woman without kids right now at this point in history, it is the best, most exclusive club to be a part of. We are living the lives that so many of our ancestors, the women who came before us, wanted to live, but literally couldn't. They couldn't even dream of having the freedom that we have created for ourselves. And according to the worst of the worst, according to Elon Musk, JD Vance, we are public enemy number one. We are the biggest threat to their lifestyle, their livelihood, and thus they attack us, they belittle us. But it's because they're scared of us. We hold the birth rate in the palm of our hands. And if it continues to drop, they will have no choice but to restructure and reallocate funds to women having babies. So we are literally actively making things better and creating benefits for the women who come after us. And for all the women out there who do want kids. It feels so good.
Girl, fuck them kids and fuck you too.
I'm a 34-year-old married Arab woman with no kids, and I don't plan on it anytime soon, so let's talk about it. I want to start off the video by saying there is no right and wrong. This is a personal preference. I'm not trying to influence anyone to go in any direction. I'm just speaking from my personal experience. I'm Palestinian. I come from an extremely cultural society who expects you to have children as soon as you get married, so there's pressure from all avenues of parents, friends, family. And while there's beauty in both decisions, I really just want us to normalize not wanting to have kids. Not everybody feels like they want to have kids, and that's okay. And let's also normalize just people minding their own business. Because the truth is, it doesn't stop there. After they ask you about when you're having your first baby, then they ask when you're going to give it a sibling, and a third, and a fourth. And it's just never good enough. Hi, I'm recording a video on us not wanting kids right now.
Yeah, we don't want that.
This is something that I've personally been struggling with for about 2 years now, because I feel like there's something wrong with me just for not wanting this in my life at the moment. I feel like a lot of women can relate, so I figured let me make a video and talk about it, because I would really love for us to normalize these conversations and have these topics without feeling a sense of judgment. And being child-free by choice, you kind of also feel like you're throwing away a privilege, or like you're not taking advantage of a blessing that God gave you. So it kind of comes with a sense of guilt. So I struggle with a lot of guilt in that. But just because I can have it doesn't mean that I have to want it. It's important that you live your life for you, not based off of somebody else's expectations for you. At the end of the day, nobody's going to raise that child except for you. So you have to make sure that this is something that you want and you can handle the responsibility that comes with it. And I think inshallah, me and my husband will get to that point eventually. But right now, I just really love waking up whenever time I want to, leaving my house at the drop of a dime, booking a trip, and just getting on that plane tomorrow if I wanted to, without having to worry about my kid's school schedule. The list goes on, but ultimately there's a lot of beauty in being child-free by choice too. I came on here to share my thoughts because I personally don't have anybody that I can talk to that understands how I feel. I feel like everyone I talk to about this just try to persuade me to have children and see the beauty in that, which I'm sure does hold so many blessings and joy. However, I'm here to tell you that your feelings are valid. It's okay if you feel this way, and you're not alone.
You know they're really starting to freak out when the narrative shifts from, well, you shouldn't have kids until you can afford to have kids, to, you're young. You should have kids. There's never a good time to have kids. Children are a blessing. They're a blessing. It'll all get sorted out. You'll figure it out. Parenting is hard for all of us. If you waited for a right time, nothing's ever going to be perfect. You just have those kids. I've seen this on Instagram, the Utah girlies talking about this, getting married at, 22, starting to have families right away because this is what's being directed towards them, is have those babies. Do it now. Yeah, they're desperate. Really desperate.
Gen Z and millennials don't want kids. So the birth rate, the fertility rate in the U.S. has been going down for years. It's now at a historic low. And what's really interesting when you get into the Pew Research underneath it is the reason people are not having kids has changed. So put up this graphic here, and I'll talk you through it. People over the age of 50 who have not had children, they say, look, it just didn't happen. Basically, I wanted to, but it was bad luck. Young people today say, I'm not even out here trying. I, period, full stop, don't want children. That
is a big shift.
That is a big change. There's a bunch of reasons. A portion of them cite the cost.
The cost of childcare is bananas.
It's bananas.
School is just, it's
crazy.
Unreal.
A portion of them cite worries about the state of the world, climate change. Yeah. And then 20% say, I just don't like kids.
And these are all fair reasons. I don't know about not liking kids.
The state of the world and climate change, meaning they don't want to add to our population because of the pressures.
Or they're just worried that the quality of life is getting worse and worse.
My great-grandmother was forced to have 12 children. Do you think she wanted to spend a good 15 years or so pregnant? No. And so when you are complaining about the birth rate decreasing, you're complaining that women have the right to choose to have a child or not. You are complaining about women's autonomy and bodily autonomy and desire to procreate or not, and just say that, oh my gosh, like the birth rate is declining, like what are we gonna do? This is so horrible. No, this is actually one of the most fundamentally fabulous times to be a woman, because we don't have to spend 15 years having 12 children for no reason. We have access to contraception, legal rights, and just access to like preventative measures if need be. Like, this is a fabulous time to be a woman. And when people are getting on here is talking about, oh my gosh, the lowered birth rate, all I can think is, we're not being forced to live as incubators. So I think this is actually a really good time, and I will say a lower birth rate is actually a sign of women's success in other countries.